Okay, well, welcome to another episode of Let's Heal the Roots. And on this episode, we will discuss stepping outside of your comfort zone. And we have a special guest with us, Miss Jennifer Ann. And I open the floor to let you introduce yourself. But first, I want to do a soil breaker. And my soil breaker for today is, what is one poor spiritual hygiene you had to clean up in your life? I'll start it off. For me, it was giving everyone access to me, and I had to clean that up because I was pouring out of an empty cup into other people, and I look around and ain't nobody else pouring into me, so I had to cut off access and clean that up in order for me to really just get in tune with myself. Because as I talked about on the previous podcast about really stepping into my feminine energy. And now I'm really starting to realize that everybody can't have access to me because my cup gonna run empty and ain't nobody gonna fill it up. So what's one of y'all spiritual hygienes that y'all had to clean up?
I'll go. I'll say it's the same for me, Mika. Yeah, because it's like, dang, when I need you, where you at? Or I'm steady pouring and then I'm still going through what I'm going through or feeling down and stuff. So yeah, I agree with that.
For me, it was my communication with God. I pray for some and ask for some, and I get the guidance and the direction. As soon as I get to where I'm going, it seems like I forget a little bit, and I fall off on my prayers and my devotion and all that stuff. Excuse me. So I had to clean that up to say, and I had to get more consistent with it because if you're consistent with God, God will be consistent with you.
Yeah.
As with all things. So that was for me.
Yes. What about you, Miss Jennifer?
Well, I think that mine is kind of like a combination of you all. First and foremost is being more mindful, just of everything, of the people that surround me, of my environment, of the things that I'm absorbing, whether it's through music, whether it's through social media, whether it's through, I don't know, just things that I'm doing around the house. Like just being more mindful and realizing, these are the qualities that I have. This is the woman that I want to become. And a woman that carries themselves in this type of way, what type of qualities do they have? Okay, now I need.
Uh-oh.
Hold on, she'll be bitch.
Just calling. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, when I started realizing like, wow, mindfulness is really a thing, and being more aware of your surroundings and the things and the way how you move through life is very vital. Because if not, then you're gonna be running through being a wanderer. You're just gonna be wandering around through life, never knowing where you're going, where you coming, what you got going on.
True. That is true. Okay, so now what we'll do, we'll go ahead and introduce you, which you didn't have your time to see.
Okay,
But just hold it. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you guys. Can y'all hear me?
Hold on.
Okay.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Oh,
she left out. So what? Hold on. Let me see. Oh, there she go.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, there you go. So what we do now, we can just go ahead and introduce yourself, and just let everyone know how they can follow you and what it is that you do, and just information that you want to share for others.
Okay, so I'm Jennifer Ann. You can find me on Instagram at YoSoyJenniferAnn. It's listed below. You can also find me on Facebook at Jennifer Ann. That's that. I'm a health and wellness accountability coach, and I'm also in the real estate space as a real estate investor. So I find new properties, just so we can start building our economy for, other people that look like us. As far as my health and wellness business goes, my main focus is to be able to provide information to other people and other families to let them know, hey, your health is your wealth, period. When you put yourself together, when you start putting better things in your body, whether it's food, whether it's drinks, whatever, drink more water, do better things, because when you don't, your brain is going to become foggy. Your mind is not going to work how it should. It's not going to be at optimum capacity. You wonder why you can't make the right decisions. You wonder why you can't focus. You wonder why you don't have the energy. You lack all of these things because you're not putting the right things in your body, and then you wonder what's going on. So it's best for us to be able to spread this knowledge, and when showing other people the things that I do, they're able to see that they can do it too. I'm a single mom of two. I'm 26. My youngest is 2 years old, and my oldest is 5 years old. And I'm just here to show other people that even despite everything that's going on out here in the world, we can still make time for us. We can still make time for self care. We can still make time to eat better. Yes, it's a rush sometimes when you have kids, but Mickey D's is not always the option because it's quick. you
Because
know?
it's quick.
Meal preps can be faster. Meal preps can be cheaper. And the price of food these days, you're going to be spending, what I've realized, lately in the past, I would say year or two, is that the quality of food is going down, but the price of food is going up. The
Yes.
quality of service is going down, but the price of service is going up. So why am I gonna spend $50 on food? Because in Miami, food is pretty expensive down here. You're gonna spend $50 plus. So why am I gonna spend $50 on some food that in the end I don't like it? It's gonna give me the itis. It's gonna make me feel sleepy, or maybe even lethargic. Who knows? My kid, I gave him Popeyes maybe a month or two ago because we was in a rush, and in the middle of the night he threw up. Why? Because his body was so used to eating healthy food that when we decided to go and do something that was not in the normal, our body said, absolutely not. So when you start doing right for yourself, your body automatically can tell when you're doing wrong, and it'll show you, and it'll tell you, and it'll make you understand that this is not right.
Wow.
So yeah,
Oh.
that's pretty much what I'm about.
Yeah. Okay. So you helped that. Look, when I drop this load, I really need to get in contact with you. Then we're gonna really make it. Okay. So like I said, our topic is stepping outside of our comfort zone. What comfort zone have you guys been able to identify was a comfort zone and step outside of it? Because that's for me, I'm still struggling on what's really. I guess I ain't dug deep enough to know what's my comfort zone. So what's one of y'all comfort zone that you can identify and know that you had to step outside of?
That we had to step outside of, or that we need to step outside of?
Well, we're gonna go to need to, but I want to know, can you identify that one that you had to step outside of, or to just improve your life overall?
I
You can go ahead.
Go ahead.
For me, it was letting people know who I am. I like to just sit back and not really be seen, not really be heard. But as a business owner, you kind of got to step outside of that and let people know who you are and what it is that you do. So that was one of the things that was a comfort zone for me. I had to come out the corner and stand out front so people could see who I was.
Brianna.
Look, I would say public speaking, like pictures and videos and stuff. I don't know, like people like to hear what I have to say, but me actually like being in the forefront, I don't like it. I don't like that much attention. It feels like I have to. I don't know. I feel like everybody is watching me or something. Then I don't like how I speak, but at the same time, like Kim was saying, we're business owners, so I had to step out of it. I have to show people, who I am and talk more and be more social. So I'm doing that right now, currently.
What about you, Miss G? What was that comfort zone that you identified with?
For me, it's the same thing. Yes, for me, it's the same thing. Just being able to, because like I said, I'm an introvert, being able to speak to people. And so what I did in order to step outside of it was I started going to networking events. I went on Eventbrite, and I started thinking about the things that I'm most interested in, or the things that, I do for a living as far as health and wellness and real estate. And I started finding different events that were in my city that, revolved around those aspects of my life. And so when I went to these events, I met so many people who were just like me, or at least they had the same type of mindset when it came down to real estate, or they had the same type of mindset when it came down to this and that and the other. And I realized, wow, it's not even as bad as it really seems. So then I started going to more networking events, and I decided, you know what? Let me go ahead and introduce myself so everybody can know who it is that's coming in the building. Because nobody have no time to be sitting here and we're not being productive. It's one thing to go to the networking events and speak to people here and there, but it's another thing to walk into the room and introduce yourself to everybody and let everybody, hey, I'm Jennifer Ann. It's a pleasure being here. I really appreciate it. It's so wonderful getting to know all of you all. If you want to contact me, here's my information. Speak loud with a clear voice. Don't be sounding timid. It's the confidence, proving to yourself that you have the confidence. You have what it takes and you can do it. And when people see that you're confident, they want to know, what is it that makes you so happy? What is it that makes you so confident? And they want to work with you even more. So just being able to step outside of that, fearful zone and getting past that fear of being able to talk to people definitely got me to my next level and definitely got me out of that, like,
I got you. And I know you mentioned too about what is that comfort zone that we're still stuck in that we can't get out of yet. Mm-hmm. Do y'all have those that you're trying to?
A comfort zone that we're still stuck in.
Well, my transition from being a full-time employee and a part-time business owner to being a full-time entrepreneur business owner is still a transition. Just within holding myself accountable and I don't know, like actually making my business a job for myself until I'm able to outsource everything. I'm still working on building it, and just I don't know. Everyday struggle with being an entrepreneur is uncomfortable.
Right.
It's uncomfortable. So just taking it for what it is and really just getting focused is where I'm at. So I wouldn't say I'm stuck, but I'm trying to crawl up out.
You crawling out of there. Okay. Okay. Yes, because I'm with you too, especially when it comes to the whole entrepreneur thing. It's like I'm trying to change my mindset to know that when you working, you got to check every Friday or every other Friday. Now it's like if I don't put in that work, excuse me, I ain't gonna get no money.
Right.
So it's like stop being comfortable, just sitting here. You got to go get it now. You finna have 3 mouths to feed now. Like you got to move your feet, and that's one of them. Like, okay, Shamika, stop being comfortable where you at and just get out there and do it.
Right.
I gotta do it. Yeah. Like even with starting this podcast, it was the delay because I was scared that I wasn't right, and it was one of them. Dang, I ain't right, so I'm gonna stay under this cover. But it was like, okay, let me get out here because somebody gonna need something that we got to say.
Because it's the process. It's the process that people want to see. When you're trying to be perfect and you try to make everything so perfect, people can see that too. People want to know, well, damn, she really went through a lot of work to get to where she is mentally right now, and we saw her in the process. We saw her going through it. But guess what? The biggest thing is that you never stop and you keep going. That's the biggest thing. Who's the last man standing? Who's the last woman standing? That's the biggest thing. The biggest battle is always, me versus me, or, you versus you, especially when you're an entrepreneur. And I think my little thing that I need to work on and still try to step out of is reminding myself not only accountability and time management, but reminding myself that everybody's opinion really don't matter. And we can say that 1,000,001 times all we want to say it. But at the same time, mentally, we're still going through that battle of, oh, this person may feel this type of way or that person may feel that type of way. But is this and that person really paying your bills? Is this and that type of person making you happy and putting a smile on your face? If not, then the opinion don't matter. And that's kind of sometimes what makes us stop. I know a lot of times in my, transition and in my journey of being an entrepreneur, I've let other people tell me how what I'm doing is not the best or how I still need to go get the 9-to-5 job so that way I can have my benefits and retirement and insurance and all of this stuff, or go find a man instead because the man's supposed to come with that. And it's like, why do I need to depend on everyone else that's outside of me when God gave me all the tools that I need in order to be successful, in order to be happy, in order to, get to the next level of my life? Why do I need to depend on a job for good insurance when I could be the employer that's giving other people the best insurance? You
Mm.
know, why do I have to wait on a man to provide me with a house and to provide me with, retirement and benefits and all these other things when I could be the one providing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people these same different qualities? We shouldn't wait and depend on other people, but we also shouldn't wait and think that something is just going to be handed to us. We got to remind ourselves about time management, because if we don't, then before you know it, the time going to pass us by and we're going to be still trying to figure out, well, what was the most important thing we needed to get done because we missed that step.
Yeah, look, time management. What about for you, Ken? What's that still that?
The level that I have reached with my business, I feel like I'm stuck in that, and I would like to go to the next level. And like, I'm comfortable with the small advertisements and stuff that I've been doing, and I'm comfortable with just the mediocre stuff when it comes to that. And recently we started the 30-day reel challenge, and that was part of me stepping outside of my comfort zone, getting up and showing more and saying more about my business. So that's
I've
So
been
out,
enjoying the real challenge.
so outside of business and outside of entrepreneur, what within yourself that you feel like you need to step outside of, whether it be just praying more or it's something, you know what I'm saying? Did that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Outside of business,
Personal.
what's inside the internal
Yeah.
comfort zone that you had, not what we see out here as far as business, but that internal comfort. And it's like, ooh,
I think I care about other people too much, and I would like to say I don't care what other people think, but I very
Really
much so
do.
care
Yeah.
what other people think.
okay.
I really do care what
Uh,
other people think.
Yeah.
So that's an internal battle on the inside, right there.
I agree with that. Yeah, because it's like, dang, and it's like we say we don't care, but you
but we
still
do.
feel it.
Yeah, feel
So
it.
we feel it. Yeah. So, bro,
It's
you
that
say the
mental
same thing.
battle.
Y'all say the same thing that what other people say, or do y'all say something different when it comes to the internal comfort zone?
Well, I think that I put too much pressure on myself. And, it gets to a point where when you start doing meditation and mindfulness, you start realizing, you start catching yourself in the act when you're doing stuff that you don't want to do. Because the truth is, a lot of times we say, like, oh, that's just how I am, or this is how I always been. But we don't really have to be that way. And we don't always have to be, who we say that we are just because we grew up a certain type of way or because our people tell us we got to be a certain type of way. We got to remind ourselves not to put so much pressure on everything, because when we do, that's what causes more, mental instability and, problems inside of your body. That creates havoc. It creates diseases, all kinds of stuff inside of your body when you apply too much pressure. It's good, but, if you're being mean to yourself, don't do it. Like on the outside, I'll have a smile on my face, but on the inside, I'm like, girl, you got to do this. You got to do that. Why you didn't get this done today? Oh, you knew you should have did this earlier. You know what I'm saying? And it's
Yeah.
like, you know what? You didn't finish it today. It's okay. Like I'm trying to learn to be more of a friend to myself. Because I have so many different businesses that I run on top of trying to be a mom, on top of trying to live my life, on top of just trying to find my purpose in this world that God, made me for. And it just can be overwhelming sometimes. But it's like, you know what, girl? You put your list down, you put your priority stuff at the top. So whatever else you didn't finish today, it's okay. Just put it on your list for tomorrow to finish. Don't stress out about it. Don't cry about it. Don't get upset about it. Just, take one day at a time and keep going from there. We can only do so much and we only one person.
True. Y'all have any questions or anything?
I want to know what your self-talk is like. Like on the days where you really don't have the energy to push through and you don't feel like doing all this stuff. Like, what are some things you say to yourself to get yourself up and going?
You talking to Jen, ain't you?
Yes, I'm talking to
Are you
Jen.
talking to me?
Yeah.
I got y'all. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I don't know how to sing, but I'm going to say something real quick, okay? Achieve it, believe it, receive it, okay? We got to just keep saying it over and over again. It's those affirmations. First and foremost, all things are possible. All things are possible. All things are possible. All
You
things are
better.
possible. You gotta scream it to the top of your lungs. All things are possible. Okay? Just believe it. Find affirmations that resonate with you and say it all day. And I'm gonna tell you something. Our neurons inside of our prefrontal cortex, this is like that little space that's in the very front of your brain. Once you start saying affirmations, our body works like a system, like a huge computer. We're a huge computer system. So when we're doing things repetitively, our body continues to do it. And when we do
Mhm.
other things repetitively, our body continues to do that as well. So I'm driving right now, right? I've been driving back and forth between here and Alabama, I don't know how many years, maybe like 6, 7, 8, 9 years. Who knows? But now I don't need a GPS to get me to where I gotta go. Why? Because I did it so many times that my body will just take me there even if I'm not paying attention. But imagine that I was doing something negative in life and now my body has gotten so used to doing that negative thing that now when I try to switch it up and do something positive, my body's like, oh, wait a minute. Now that's not right. We're not used to doing this. We're not used to doing it. So then you got to start reinforcing it. You got to start doing it over and over and over and over again, just like a normal computer system. Once you start
Mhm.
doing that, now your body's going to say, okay, now this is starting to make more sense. This is sounding a little bit more right. We done this for a little while, and I like this feeling a lot better than that old feeling. Okay,
Yeah.
I used to wake up in the morning and be groggy and like start my day off or whatever late every single day. Like every time you see me, I'm coming somewhere late. Like if that's just what it was, that's just who I am. Like it just is what it is. But now I'm like, I got something to be up for. I got life force growing in me. I got life force building in me. Every time I wake up in the morning, I'm putting on my song. I'm gonna have to send it to y'all. Achieve it, believe it, receive it. All things is possible. I just keep going. I got a whole playlist that I call and I named it. It's named Manifesting, and every single song in that playlist is something else about being better, doing better, living better. I play it for my kids. They know it by heart. And when you do stuff like that, when you think about these manifesting songs, when you play music in your mind, your body reacts to music in a different way than it would on a regular day.
Mhm.
Say that you're trying to study for, I don't know, chemistry. Oh, wait, when you're in elementary school and you try to study for like the bone test and you try to learn the bones, if you sit down, you try to study the bones, yeah, you can do it. It might take a little minute, but imagine that I make a song with all the bones to it. You're going to know the whole song by heart in like 20 minutes if you really take time to listen
I
to
want
it.
I want that list now.
Me
You say
too.
yeah, I want that list.
I playlist. I'm telling you, it got a good little beat to it, make the beat drop, whatever. You know,
Okay.
when you say all of these songs, it's just straight affirmation all the way through, repeated affirmation all the way through with a good little beat to it in the background. And the
Yes.
thing is, a lot of times we have a hard time just trying to say the normal affirmation. And I just started looking it up because every time I see an issue in my life, instead of dealing with the issue, I take time out to actually figure out why am I feeling upset? Why am I allowing this to make me feel this emotion for such a long period of time? It should be no reason why I'm feeling any type of discomfort or
Mhm.
sadness or regret or, any type of negative emotion for an extended period of time. That's just not acceptable to me anymore. And when I catch myself doing it, I'm going to go put my affirmations on because I ain't got time for it. Like, I need something to boost
Okay.
me up. I need something to keep me happy. And I need my kids to not be aggressive because they men in America and they need to know, hey, let me calm down a little bit. Let me think logically about these situations because sometimes these men don't know how to handle themselves. And women, too. You get into an argument with somebody and next thing you know, you done lost your life. You feel me? If you
Mhm.
learn how to deal with certain situations and you know how to deal with you, when you have you together and you know how to channel yourself and your emotions, you can prevent a lot of things from happening. But that starts at the beginning. We're just now learning these things in our, 20s and 30s and 40s. But now we have the benefit of social media. Now we have the benefit of cultural diffusion where we can actually go online and we can find out ways in order to help ourselves at the touch of a finger. So if we
Mhm.
don't do that, we're doing a disservice not only to ourselves, but we're also doing a disservice to our kids and our community because those are the people who's looking up to us in order to become whoever it is they need to become when they get older. So saying those affirmations in the musical tone is going to be what allows you to manifest better things in your life. And if you check on your neurons and how they start, firing off at each other when you say a normal affirmation versus when you say it with song, you actually experience it better, like 10 or 20 times better, and you manifest better things into your life 20 to 30 times faster than you normally would on a regular day-to-day basis. Plus, you really get in the vibe. You really get in the mood. And when you
Have
stop
me in
for at
there
least 10
twerking in the
seconds or longer,
bathroom.
you get happier. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Because think about this, right? A lot of songs, we like the songs because of the beat. And we'll be singing a song that we didn't even realize that we learned after hearing the beat. And then we can go back and
Yeah.
replay it. And we're like, well, dang, this song, it sounds good. But when I really think about the lyrics, it's a little crazy. But the truth is, your body can't tell the difference between whether it's something that's happening in real life or something that's happening, virtually or whatever. So you saying those lyrics, you're still manifesting that in your life, even though it sounds good and it's making you happy. You're still manifesting negativity into
Mm-hmm.
your life. Look at Kodak. I listen to his music. I like his music, but now I don't listen to it as much. Why? Because even though I like it, the lyrics itself is manifesting things that I don't want in my life, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now I go to other music and I listen to it and it's a similar beat and I'm like, okay, now I can really vibe to this and I can feel comfortable letting my kids hear it and I just feel overall better in my day after I get done. Because when you start living in your purpose, you don't have as much free time that you used to have before. So you want to be very selective about what you're giving your time to, how much time you're giving it, and just the whole 360 of it. Why am I going to spend my time listening to Kodak right now when I can spend these next 5 minutes listening to Believe It, Achieve It, and Receive It? And I'm going to go out there and I'm going to be receiving something. I'm
Come
going to
on.
receive all the blessings God got for me today.
Come on. Right. So Kim, that question that you asked, what are some of those? What are your pep talks?
I think I can. I think I can. I think I can.
Okay.
I go back to
I
Thomas
got this.
Chart.
I got this.
But like me and you were talking about yesterday, an affirmation that just came to me out of nowhere. It's just like all that is for me, I shall have, and it's like if it's not for me, I can't have it. No matter how
Right.
bad I want it, no matter how
I like
bad I
that.
think I deserve it, if it's not for me, I can't have it. So what you mad for? You already know this.
Right.
So that is
That's
one
a
thing.
hard one, though. That's a hard one.
That's what I'm starting to say to myself more often. If it's for you, you can have it. If it ain't for you, you can have it. And then all knows don't mean you can't have it today ever. You just ain't have it right now, maybe.
Right now.
So
What about you, Brianna? What are some of your pep talks?
I would say I'm a little aggressive with myself, so I need to start talking a little bit softer and to myself because I'm like,
With grace. That
yes,
word grace.
what you doing? Like you got it, you know better. Come on, girl, get up, do
Yes.
it. Like
Okay.
it's not even just one statement; it's a lot of few things that I may say, but I think it just helps me get motivated, like being self motivated. Am I hearing myself? I hear the echo. But yeah, so
And I'm with you though, cause I'm harsh on myself, cause I be cussing and everything. Gotta go get your like I ain't like grace.
oh,
Like
now it do get rough now.
It
yeah,
seems
I
to
have
me like all of us have to, learn on being a little bit more of a friend to ourselves.
Cause baby, I be in there like God. Even this morning, when you asked that question about that pep talk, when I say I was finna tell y'all, let's reschedule. Cause I just didn't feel it at all. I didn't. And what it was though, cause I said this the other day. Now that I'm really was discovering myself is more spiritual for me, getting plugged back in with God. I didn't fall on my knees this morning and pray. And when I say that was on me, like, oh, that's why you feel like me. Laying across that bed, my baby in there just kicking. And I'm like, man, when I say I was finna type that, like, we could just reschedule it. When I say all I did was just roll on my knees. And I just had to say, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And it just like my whole little vibe changed. It's like, okay, I keep giving it to you now. You get it in line. Then I had to get up and be like, God damn, Shamika, come on, get your shit together. Like, I had to just roll down there. It's one of them.
You gotta start doing stuff even if you don't feel like doing it.
Yeah.
After you do, you like, that wasn't nothing. That was
Right.
All I had to do.
stepping outside of that comfort zone. Gotta get up.
I know it. Yeah.
Especially if it's an activity that takes less than 5 minutes to do. Just remind yourself it's gonna take less than 5 minutes to do this. So let me go ahead and do it because in 5 minutes I'm gonna be sitting here like, dang, I still need to do it.
Yes.
So if it takes less than 5 minutes to do, then you need to take less than 5 seconds to get up and do it. You know? When you really set yourself to a certain standard, you gotta move with it. So anytime you get ready to make a decision, you want to make it before 5 to 7 seconds, because if you don't, most likely you're gonna decide the one that you're gonna want to lay down and not do
Yeah.
that. But see,
Five.
like when I wake up in the morning, I used to lay in the bed for a little bit, and if I laid in the bed for a little bit longer, I would say, you know what, I'm gonna just lay down for 5 more minutes. Every now and then, I would get up after the 5 minutes, but then most of the time, I get up 30 minutes later, 20 minutes later, hours
Right.
later, and be like, dang, why did I do that? But if I had said, you know what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just hop up, I would have did everything I needed to
Mhm.
do. But now that's what I do when I wake up in the morning too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, get up, get
Mhm.
up.
Well, I need to learn that because I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 100, 300. I'm still, I'm still there.
Yeah, I use it for everything that I can use it for now. Like even when I'm trying to take my kids to school, like girl, y'all already dressed, y'all done already ate. Why you sitting down looking at Instagram, checking your phone? You know what I'm saying? Why they watching TV? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get up, get the kids out the door, go,
Mhm.
go.
I'll be like, So, Miss Jennifer, do you have any questions for us or anything that you would like to know? Or
um, let's see here. What is one thing that you guys can tell, me and other people, a life lesson, any type of life lesson that you just learned in the process of living? Like, what's a good lesson that you could tell someone who will want to, keep going in life, motivate them?
woo, woo, I'm still trying to learn these lessons myself.
Um, don't be afraid to be you. Be
Mhm.
unique. Just because everyone else is following a trend or on the same trend, it's okay to be yourself and stand out.
Mhm.
Like it's a beautiful thing of standing out. It makes you look smarter. It makes you feel like, different. And it's okay to be different. So just be you.
Be
It's
you.
fun to be different.
It is. It is
I be
fun.
having fun.
Because everybody don't get it. Long
Yeah.
as I get it.
The ones
Long as
that get it, and the ones that don't.
Yeah. This makes sense to me. So, hey. Ooh.
Mhm.
What about you, Kim?
I would say, like on days I don't feel bad. Remember, is tomorrow, and the only thing that's between today, tomorrow, and how you feel is a decision.
Mm.
You get to decide how you gonna tomorrow. So that.
That's real.
That's deep. That's all I'm gonna
What
tell you.
about
Keep going.
you?
Keep going. Just keep going. That's all I got. Keep going. What about you, Brand? Do you have any questions or anything? Statements you want to say about comfort zone or anything?
um that comfort, getting out of that comfort zone comes with accountability. So what are we doing in place of accountability to make sure that you are stepping out of that comfort?
'Cause I'm with Kim on this one, especially about the 30-day reel.
Okay.
That holds me accountable too because it's like, okay, especially when I go and look on the page and see everybody done posted and I haven't, I was like, okay, Shamika, you got to do it now. Come on now, you got to do it, and I like that. I like that because if it was just up to me holding myself accountable, I'm not, I can honestly say I'm not that self disciplined yet.
Mm-mm.
I'm still working on that. But just to see that somebody else done did it, and then to see that y'all done got all these views, it's like, okay, yes, Shamika, we got
Yeah.
to go. Put on that helmet and these pads, who finna play football. We got to go get it. So I really thank you for that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because
Look,
that
it
really
holds
just
you accountable too.
yes, and it's showing that I can take those steps to do these things. You know what I'm saying? They say once you repeat stuff in practice, it gets you in that routine. So that's what I'm learning to get into a routine of doing something for myself, I guess you could say, and
Yeah.
to really just get out there. So I want to thank you for that.
Y'all welcome. I say y'all welcome.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, because having partners,
Yes.
not somebody that's saying, well, you need to get up and do this, and you need to get up and do this.
Right.
Yeah.
Just having somebody on that same wavelength as you, and it's like a smooth transition. Just we all know what we need to do. Everybody had their calendars ready. They was
Mm-hmm.
sending out emails to people who didn't have a
Right.
calendar. Just like a community that's helpful for me with my
Yeah.
accountability. Because like Mika said, if it's just me and I only know the plan. When I get tired, the plan is over with in the morning.
What?
I
I'm
feel.
finna go lay down again. I'm finna go lay down.
Right.
What about you,
And you
Miss
know
Jim?
what? Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say I want to bounce off of what you guys are saying. You know, when you posted that 30-day real challenge, you know, I was like, I like this because I post reels. I'm not all the way like I post a reel here and there or whatever. But I'm not all the way consistent with it. And now since I decided to be, more consistent, not only have I driven more traffic to my page, my reels are getting like 7,000, 8,000 views in a couple minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it's only because I've been being more consistent. And we also have to see about, providing value and being a service to the people because once we serve people and we provide value to them, that allows you to be able to get, more interactions with people on the actual real level. Not on no, oh, I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to tell you something, but like on the act, like people feel connected to you. Like I feel connected to y'all. I know Brianna. I grew up with Brianna, but you guys, I met you virtually. I
Mm-hmm.
love your vibe. I love your energy. But if it wasn't for the social media, if it wasn't for, posting frequently, if it wasn't for me going through your page and looking through to see what you're about, we wouldn't know each other really. I
Right.
wouldn't know if we're in alignment or not. The only way that I can see it, when I meet somebody, the first thing I'm doing is going to their social media because I want to know who you are. I want to know what you're about. And if you don't have nothing on your page, I'm probably not, I'm not saying that I'm going to ignore you, but everything is social media these days. So I'm going to pay the next person a little bit more attention to have more stuff on their page, and I'm going to pay you. Why? Because I feel like I know them more.
Mm-hmm.
So you
Mm-hmm.
telling us to post every single day is holding us accountable. It's holding other people accountable. And not only that, but look at how many people have actually got to interact and meet each other just through the 30-day real challenge that didn't know each other previously. I met a
Right.
couple of girls in the group that I had never met before, and I wouldn't have never met them and collaborated with them if it wasn't for the fact that you did the 30-day challenge. And, when we ask ourselves certain things, we think about the fact of why would I stop? Who's gonna lose if I decide to stop today?
Mm-hmm.
Who's gonna win if I decide to keep going? You decided to keep going and you allowed me to win. Like I said, my Instagram pays me. So anytime somebody even click on my page, I'm getting paid for it. I'm getting maybe 3 times as much as what I was getting before. I started doing a 30-day real challenge off of my social media. All because you decided to hold yourself accountable, which made me hold myself accountable, which made them hold themselves accountable, and everybody else.
Right. Girl, look at you. You done did something now, girl.
you
Yes,
know?
girl, you done did something
So
now,
people,
girl.
once you start building your brand, people start relying on you. So then that kind of gives you that motivation too to keep going because if you
That's a
if you
great
quit,
point.
you're gonna stop. You're changing people's lives right now. I'm putting food in my kids' mouth because of the money that I made on Instagram because of the thing that you decided to do one day.
Girl, don't you cry. Don't you cry. Don't you cry, girl.
Like
Well, we'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and wrap it up now. But y'all already know I like to do my end tip, which is that one piece of advice that you could give to somebody watching or listening now. So, what would your advice be for someone?
Um,
Okay, okay, I got it. Mine would be those signs that you see every day. It's not just a coincidence.
mhm.
It means okay, you keep seeing them over and over and over. It's time to move your feet. It's time to do something with them. Because your angels and God up there, He telling you something. So it's time for you to take heed to and everything that you see, especially that's on a daily basis, and you just keep seeing it or keep hearing it. Now it's time to reevaluate yourself and really
right.
move with it. So, what would be y'all last tip for today to help somebody out there listening?
I would say don't be afraid to go get what you want.
Mm.
It's out there, and if it ain't, go create what you want, and you got it. But don't be scared to go get what you want.
Mm.
Um, we were speaking about accountability. Prioritize yourself. Like this is real life. Like stop playing with yourself. Stop playing with you, your future, and your kids' future because they are the future. And just prioritize and get up and do what you need to do for yourself. Go to
Yeah.
the next level if need be. Go to another level if need be. However, Just get up and let's do it.
Let's do it.
I love that. Mine, since today we were talking about stepping out of your comfort zone, I think that my biggest tip would be, in order to step out of your comfort zone, you first got to realize that everything is a process. Everybody is in their own process, including you. And when you realize that, you realize that you got to take steps. You're not going to get to the finish line by tomorrow. You got to start from somewhere. And that begins with finding out what are the things that actually make you uncomfortable. Then you start figuring out, well, what can I do to help me get out of that uncomfortable stage? But you have to figure out the things that make you uncomfortable first and go from there. So take everything one step at a time. Take everything one day at a time. Don't stress yourself out too much about it, but keep going every day and never give up, no matter what happens.
All right. Well, I want to thank you, Jennifer, for taking the time out your day. I know you traveling, so guys, you traveling grace and mercy on the highway. And just for, just pouring into us, because I really want to connect with you, especially when it comes to like growing Instagram and just, just the insight on that. So I'll be in touch with you on that. But for everyone that's watching and listening, I just want to thank y'all for tuning in. And I hope there was a word that'll help you along this journey that we call life. And until next time, we will see you guys later.
Bye.